All right, let's just jump right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're tackling what absolutely promises to be a blockbuster topic. Just take a look at this title from the channel Horizon, Richest National Teams at World Cup 2026, complete with a money bag and fire emojis, right? I mean, if you're a massive football fan, a finance nerd, or honestly just someone curious about the sheer economics of global sports, this title screams high-value data. It promises billionaire players and just astronomical sponsorships. You click on a title like this expecting a serious, heavy-hitting breakdown of global wealth. And honestly, why wouldn't you? The year 2026 is going to be absolutely monumental. This upcoming World Cup is set to be the largest tournament in history, spanning multiple countries, expanded rosters, the whole shebang. We are literally talking about billions of dollars in revenue just floating around the globe. So when you see a source claiming to analyze the richest teams for 2026, your expectations for financial breakdowns and pure economic spectacle are, well, they're through the roof. You are ready for the charts, you're ready for the valuations, and you want that deep dive into the business of football. But here is where things get completely wild. The stark reality of what Horizon actually delivered is, well, it's totally bewildering. On one side, we've got the immense data-heavy promise of that title. But on the other, this is the actual documented content of the explainer. I'm serious. There are no numbers here. There are zero national teams. There is literally no money. Instead, we're hit with this baffling wall of text that essentially just repeats a single word. It's this massive, jarring pivot from the financial deep dive we were promised to something completely different. So we need to actually look at the raw data we were given. We've got to examine what is really there. Let me read the entire unedited transcript of this upload for you, word for word. You ready? Put your investigative hats on because here it is. Heat, heat, heat up here. Heat, 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 hey. Heat, 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 heat up. Heat, 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 heat. That's it. That is the complete script. It's not a financial report, it's a rhythmic, driving chant. And honestly, this perfectly illustrates the sheer scale of this digital anomaly. Exactly 20 words, an entire supposed financial deep dive into the richest national teams on the planet, boiled down to exactly 24 syllables. So we have to ask ourselves, how do we even parse this? We're not going to just dismiss it. Oh no. Instead, we're going to treat this as a forensic analysis of a digital artifact. We're going to break down these exact 20 words to see what kind of structural secrets might be hiding beneath the surface of this bizarre upload. Okay, let's look at the vocabulary distribution. Because rather than breaking down billions of dollars across federations, we're breaking down a 20-word microlexicon. The concept of heat, in both its uppercase and lowercase forms, absolutely dominates the dataset. It accounts for 16 of the 20 total words. The word up appears twice. Here appears exactly once, and hey, also just once. A single, fiery concept has entirely hijacked the financial statistics we were promised. But as we dig into the data, you guys, it gets even stranger. Drilling down into that dominating word, we uncover some really deliberate grammatical anomalies. Out of the 16 times the word is used, 14 of them are your standard lowercase. But twice, specifically late in the upload sequence, Horizon made the deliberate stylistic choice to capitalize it, heat, with a capital H. Now, why the sudden shift to a proper noun or an emphasized capitalization in a sea of lowercase repetition? Lowercase heat versus uppercase heat. What does this capitalization shift actually represent? Is this just an escalation in the channel's rhythmic hype? Maybe a crescendo in the audio file that the automated transcriber picked up on? Or is it a hidden structural marker? In modern digital content, capital letters are often used to signal a spike in volume, an algorithmic trigger, or even a shift in the beat of the underlying track. It kind of forces us to look at this text not as a transcript of human speech, but almost like a piece of sheet music. So, tracking this chronologically, we can pinpoint the exact moments this endless wave of heat gets interrupted by our outlier words. The first break happens at word 4, with up, which is immediately followed at word 5 by here. Then we get another continuous wave of heat until word 9, which hits us with a hey. After that, there's this massive block of heat until word 16, hitting up once again. By isolating these interruptions, a very specific rhythmic pattern really starts to emerge from what initially just looked like total chaos. Let's break those blocks down into distinct stanzas, right? Because a rhythm definitely appears. First, we get a rapid triplet, 3 heats, followed by the modifying phrase, up here. Then, another identical triplet, 3 heats, punctuated by a sharp hey. Next, we see this major escalation, a massive unbroken block of 6 heats, which notably includes our first capitalized heat right before a final up. And then it concludes with a 4-beat outro of heat and heat. When you look at it structured this way, it stops looking like an error and starts looking like meticulously crafted hype music. It's basically a form of audio-visual poetry masquerading as a sports finance explainer. Which brings us to the ultimate contrast. Rational viewers out there, searching for World Cup wealth data, expected to find complex team valuations, skyrocketing player salaries, and massive corporate sponsorships. Instead, Horizon's reality is a mesmerizing 20-word rhythmic loop of heat, up here, and hey. It is, hands down, the ultimate bait and switch. You clicked for the GDP of global football, and you received an aggressive, hypnotic chant. So, we have to wrap up today's explainer by asking one final, profound question. What is the true purpose of this Horizon upload? Was this simply a broken algorithm scraping the wrong audio file and just slapping a trending title on it? Is it a piece of avant-garde, modern hype culture designed to game engagement metrics through sheer viewer confusion? Or is it just a pure digital mystery, a glitch in the matrix of 2026 World Cup content? Whatever it is, it certainly brought the heat, just not the kind anyone was expecting. Think about how we consume media today and ask yourself, how often are we lured in by the promise of the title only to be completely hypnotized by the rhythm of the algorithm?